Good morning, one and all. We are revising on modern software engineering. This is Dr. Diana. This is our 32nd session on modern software engineering, and I thought we'll do a quick recap of all the 5 units put together. Now, modern software engineering, when we see, it is not a process or a protocol that you follow, but it is a different mindset and a different perspective on software development. And the outcome of this modern software engineering approach is better efficient software being developed in lesser amount of time, and also a holistic success that the entire organization achieves. So it includes the organization's success, the technical success of the software itself, and the personal success or the satisfaction that each of the team member and the stakeholder gets out of the project. So it is a holistic approach for software development. And we saw that the basic principle is agility, or the ability to adapt things. So it covers 5 units. The first unit deals with the basic introduction to what is agility, why should we go agile, what are the success factors and all that. Then into second unit we concentrate on collaboration. In third unit we talk about how to release, and then in fourth and fifth unit we talk about planning and development. So in unit 1 it is more like a very basic overview of what agile methodology is. Why should we go into agile? Is every project capable of being worked on agile platform and all that. And the second half of the first unit deals with extreme programming. Extreme programming is an approach under agile software development. So the rest of the entire 4 units we will be talking only about extreme programming approach. So agile development comes in various forms. One is extreme programming, another one is called as a Scrum, but we will be talking only about extreme programming in all 5 units. So in unit 1 we have seen some of the basic concepts of agility. What motivated agile methodologies is what we will be concentrating on in unit 1. In unit 1, when we talk about the very important questions for the university, these are going to be our important questions. Why do we go in for an agile platform? Or how do we take the holistic approach to success in software development? So that's what will be your first question, for which you might have to explain in the traditional development process how the organization achieves only a technical success. The organization and the personal success are lost in the traditional development approach, and how we concentrate on it in the agile development process. All that aspects you will have to write. And then you might be asked on what is extreme programming and its life cycle. So you will have to compare and contrast with the traditional model, the water cycle and the iterative model, and then explain that in extreme programming we work on deliverables every week or in once in 2 weeks, and in every iteration we are going to have the plan, design, deploy, develop and deploy phases. So all of these aspects you put together and then explain the extreme programming life cycle. And the other important aspect is how do we introduce that agile perspective inside the mindset of the team. So that talks about the strategies that you can adopt to change the thinking of the team, for which we have seen 5 different methods called pair programming, energized work, informative workspaces, root cause analysis and retrospectives, of which informative workspaces and retrospectives are very, very important. And when we talk about unit 2, it deals with ensuring collaboration among the team members in the development, and the strategies and principles that can be adopted in an agile environment for better collaboration. So we have seen all the different methods that help in collaboration, such as trust, sitting together, how to involve the on-site customer into the development space, and then how to exchange a ubiquitous languages with the development team and the stakeholders, and how to conduct stand-up meetings. What are the coding standards we have to adopt in integration of code and ensuring collaboration in the team. And we have seen what is iteration demo and the types of reports that we can generate to ensure trust with the stakeholders. Now, these are some of the important questions in Unit 2. What are the principles that you can adopt for establishing trust among the team members and the stakeholders? What are the different categories of software that you can develop with various degrees of customer involvement? And the coding standards and their creation and adhering standards. The iteration demo, how it is conducted, what is the schedule of a basic iteration demo, and what are the forms of reporting. And once you start collaborating with the team, then you will start on release. So in agile environment, we see that the plan and the development are targeted with weekly releases. So release becomes a very important aspect in agile development. So Unit 3 deals with releasing, and we have seen some of the basic methodologies which are to be incorporated during the plan and the development phase to ensure a better release. It could be bug-free release, a version control methodology, or an automated build strategy, a continuous integration process, collective ownership of the code and its documentation. And some of the important questions in Unit 3 are how to come up with a bug-free release or a zero-bug release. So we have seen 5 different principles that help us come up with a bug-free release, and how do we ensure version control using the central repository and the sandbox. We'll have to explain all the operations that are possible with the repository and the sandbox, and how successful build before checking inside the repository always helps with a very good version control system. And then we will deal with the continuous integration that helps with the seamless parallelization of the coding process. Then we also talk about collective ownership of the code and certain principles that can help us ensure collective ownership of the code. And in Unit 4 we talk about how exactly we get down into the planning phase for each of the iteration. So in agile development, we see that iteration form the basic model or the basic building block of the development structure. So for each iteration, how do we plan and what are the aspects to be scheduled per iteration is what we will be seeing in Unit 4. And these are some of the important questions in Unit 4. The basic release plan miniatude, explain the process of conducting a miniatude, and then move on into risk management. What are the 4 levels of assessing a risk? How do we plan for mitigation activities? And then go in for a perfect iteration plan, including both of these. And then you talk about including a slack time in your iteration plan in order to help you deliver your iteration commitments. And then you always count your slack and your iteration plan along with the number of stories that are completed. And the number of stories that you complete in each iteration gives the momentum of the entire development, and how to stay with a very good momentum is what we will be seeing in Unit 4. And we also identified methods of estimating different workflows. So all of these are going to be very important questions in Unit 4. And in Unit 5, we have seen certain methodologies that can be adopted for better development. And this happens to be the most important unit of all the 5 units. And we have seen how exactly the traditional approach contrasts from the agile approach only in the development phase. And then we also see these are some of the important questions in Unit 5. How the test-driven development approach aids in the agile development process. What is the cycle of TDD, how we go into the red bar, green bar, and the refactoring phase. Refactoring is the crucial aspect of clearing off your technical debts. So refactoring and code smells are going to be the most important question in this unit. And we will also we have seen about spike solutions to create a spike for a particular entity, and then do a little bit of research on that to clear off your doubts before you start your production code or freeze your production code. And we have also seen methods for exploratory testing, which are going to be some of the important questions in unit 5. So with this we are finishing with the entire syllabus of modern software engineering. In the next session I'll be presenting some of the important questions for in an exam point of view. Until then, this is Dr. Diana signing off. Thank you.